I'm Barb McGowan, and welcome to day 3 of the Content Bootcamp, the Instagram version. So why Instagram? There are over 1.2 billion users, and when people are on Instagram, they're on the app for about 29 minutes on average per day. A lot like TikTok, there's a lot of real quick scrolling and seeing what catches the eye, and so there's a lot of kind of the ability to have a lot of exposure in those 29 minutes. Instagram also has the highest engagement rates of all of social media. It's an attention-getting platform that can be used to send traffic to other platforms like Facebook or YouTube. But because you can do image posts and carousels, which are just like a gallery of sorts in an individual post, as well as video, it's a little bit more, I guess, education or information centric than a platform like TikTok. And Instagram is now considered a video platform first and foremost. So types of content that, like the content that does well. So quotes, lifestyle posts meaning like, I just saw one that was really good today, and it was someone jumping like in Hawaii or something, you know, some tropical place, jumping off like the side of a little cliff into some water down below. And it was like, basically the gist of it was like, you can have a life where you can earn money while you're doing like living this life of adventure. And have your income still working for you behind the scenes, even though you're not sitting in an office. So that's the kind of lifestyle post that does really well. Testimonials. So if you are talking directly about a product that you're promoting, like having a testimonial, like from someone who's used it or from yourself behind the scenes. So that would be like imagine if you're at a sporting event and it would be somebody with a camera or like a phone recording something in the locker room as the coach is giving like an inspirational speech. Human faces tend to get more engagement than posts without human faces. So like that human and person-to-person connection is really strong with Instagram. Real-time trends. So just like how on TikTok, there will be trending sounds or, you know, trending topics, the same goes on Instagram. So finding a way to make that relevant to your niche or your business is super important. And research has been done where they look at video length on Instagram Reels, and they found that 26 seconds is the ideal length. So with Instagram Reels, you can either post a reel that's up to 30 seconds or up to 60 seconds. And they found 26 seconds is the ideal length because that has the most engagement in like with comments with your audience. So just as a FYI, like on TikTok, it's like 7 seconds. On Instagram, it's 26. Again, Reels are limited to 30 or 60 seconds. You can also post images, videos, and go live. So content lifespan or the content half-life. And again, what this means is the length of time that it will take a post on each platform to get half of the likes that it's going to get over its entire lifespan. So on Instagram, it's 19 hours. So if I post something right now on Instagram, in 19 hours, I can predictably get 50% of the total engagement or the total likes that post is going to get for its entire life. So it's a little bit longer than Facebook and a lot longer than TikTok going live. So from what I have experienced in going live on Instagram versus TikTok, for example, it's very similar. So you can go live and it'll notify everybody that follows you. And then people can join your live and ask questions, make comments, that kind of a thing. You can also go live with another person. Something that I thought was pretty cool that I discovered is you can take your live video and you can post it to IGTV. So if you have, if you go live on Instagram and have a really active like Q&A session or having a dual live with another person and you guys are having a really good conversation, you can actually post that directly to IGTV and kind of repurpose your live content. And I just think that's really cool. I know a lot of people are like, well, when I go live, like nobody's asking me anything. And that's totally fine. You don't want to just post something to IGTV that, you know, is just you sitting there and maybe getting a question or so every few minutes. But I would definitely utilize the dual live feature where you can invite another person in your industry or, you know, somebody else where it makes sense for you to both go live together. And then you can repurpose that and post it as an Instagram TV post. So I'm not going to go super in depth with the algorithm. Basically, there's a lot that goes into it. If people are going to see your content once you post it, It's because they have a relationship with you. So they're interacting with you frequently. They're interested in the type of post that you posted. So if I'm posting an Instagram reel, and that, people in my audience are typically interacting with and engaging with my Instagram reels, it'll tend to show that type of content to those people more. If I'm just posting like a single image and that's it, and people aren't normally interacting with that type of content with me, they're less likely to see it. Timeliness. So newer stuff gets more attention. Going back to like that 19-hour rule. So that's kind of the like cutoff point, so to speak. Also frequency of use, following and session time are kind of secondary algorithm drivers. So how often does somebody check Instagram? If it's not super frequently, then they're going to only give them like the cream of the crop, so to speak, and less of a sample, if you will. How many people does a user follow? If somebody follows 1 million people, then it's going to be a lot more competitive for your content to get in front of them. And session time, how much time does the user spend on the app each day? That kind of goes back to like frequency of use. So if somebody's barely on Instagram, and when they are, it's only for a couple minutes per day, it's again going to be really competitive for you to make the cut to make it into the content that they see on their timeline. So these are just some tips for driving traffic. I thought these were super relevant and super helpful. And I wanted to show you an example of this in action on Instagram. So post carousels wherever you can. So a carousel, if you're not familiar, is it's like when somebody posts something and you have to swipe to see all of the posts that come in that single like set of images or set of videos, whatever it is. They get 3 times the engagement and they get way more reach than other post types. So post consistently. This line right here came straight from Instagram in June of this year. So 2 feed posts per week and 2 stories per day is ideal for building a following on the app. So if you wanted to like do kind of the, I guess, bare minimum, that would be what you should do at a minimum to be able to grow on Instagram. If you are repurposing your TikTok videos and putting those on Instagram as Instagram Reels, they will count towards your feed posts for the week, and you can also put them into your stories. So that's why it's going to be so easy to grow on Instagram using TikTok, because you can have tons of content to draw from. Something I wanted to add with that is if you're posting carousels, you're not going to just put a bunch of Instagram Reels into a carousel. But I'm going to show you a really great example of an account that uses post carousels, so you can see what you should be doing and how it should look. And also per Instagram, it does not matter if your account is creator, business, or personal. That's basically for aesthetics and helping like the end user figure out who you are and what you're about, and is way not relevant for Instagram in terms of showing you versus not showing you on people's timelines. So a couple more tips and best practices. Repurpose your TikTok videos with the watermark removed. It's super important. Instagram will actually penalize you if you have that TikTok watermark on your content and then you repost it to Instagram Reels. So if you're using an iPhone, or if you're using an iPhone, use Safari. Don't use Chrome or any other browser, but use Safari and go to snaptik.app. And you'll copy the link within TikTok for a specific TikTok video, paste it into snaptik.app, and then you can download that watermark-free video onto your phone. You can also use snaptik.app if you're using an Android phone. When you go to post the reel from that repurposed TikTok video, use all the quote bells and whistles. And this is actually something that Instagram and TikTok have in common. Using music, filters, effects, everything like that, adding text. Instagram favors content that uses all the little features that they have and offer. So just something to keep in mind. Use about 10 hashtags per post that are relevant to your niche and your content. So if you're posting, let's use affiliate marketing as an example. If you're posting a video that is talking about like quitting your 9-to-5 job and having a toxic boss, then it would be relevant to say, quit your 9-to-5, hashtag, toxic boss, hashtag, be your own boss, that kind of a thing. And those would be kind of the really video specific hashtags. You would also want to select some hashtags that are a little broader, like affiliate marketing for beginners or affiliate marketing step-by-step or whatever. And then ones that are like even broader, but you don't want to be competing against hashtags that have like 3 billion people posting. Do you know what I mean? So similar to TikTok, you want to keep them small enough that you're not going to get lost in the overall noise that's on Instagram. But you do want to have like, 3 or 4 smaller ones that are super relevant to the video, maybe 3 mid-sized ones that are kind of a broader topic wise, but still relevant to your niche. And then maybe another 3 that are super broad, but not so broad that you're competing with 3 billion other posts. Include a strong call to action in all your content. It doesn't need to be, hey, click the link in my bio and buy this thing every time. It could be follow me or leave a comment or, whatever call to action that you want to include, but it doesn't need to, and it should not always be click the link in my bio and buy this thing, because that'll get old really quickly. And it's important to like build the trust and credibility with your audience rather than just trying to sell them something constantly, just like any platform. Post when your audience is online. There are tools that you can use, like for example, Buffer or Hootsuite, where you can schedule your posts in advance, and you can also check and see when your audience is most active. If you have a lot of followers in Europe, for example, you don't want to be posting when they're asleep because you happen to be in the US. So just be cognizant of that. If people are only on the app for 30 minutes and it's going to be during their waking hours, you just want to take that into consideration. Optimize your profile. It's always kind of a rule of thumb to say who you are, what you do, and who you help. And I'll show you a good example of that in just a moment. Know your target audience. That is always true across the board. Respond to comments and DMs, again, just to build trust. Responding to comments also increases the engagement on your posts. And post interactive stories. So if you're not sure what an interactive story is, I will show you. And I'll do that when we get to the Instagram example that I'm going to show you. All right. And then in terms of long-term strategy, so you want to use apps or platforms like TikTok and Instagram to get attention. That's what they're good for, really like getting attention, and then moving your audience to somewhere like Facebook or YouTube where you can educate them about the product or the products that you're promoting, provide them more value, and warm those cold leads up to warm or hot leads so that you can sell to them. Obviously, don't rely on Instagram alone as your only long-term traffic strategy. And I would even go so far as to say, and don't rely on Instagram alone as your only attention-getting platform in your traffic strategy. So meaning if you're trying to get, grab somebody's attention and move them to Facebook or move them to YouTube, use TikTok and Instagram. Do you know what I mean? You can repurpose your TikTok videos, post them to Instagram Reels, post those Reels to your Instagram stories, and then connect your Instagram and Facebook such that your Instagram stories will automatically post over as your Facebook stories. The benefit of that is those stories last for 24 hours. So if you have a global audience, they're able to look at your stories, for 24 hours. So they have a full day's life cycle, and that's on Instagram and on Facebook. And I just want to now take you over, and we're going to visit my homegirl, Lauren. So Lauren is fantastic. You guys probably have seen her on TikTok, and I'm not sure if she was just taking a break from TikTok or if she is just transitioning over to Instagram altogether. But I wanted to call attention to a bunch of stuff that she does amazingly, because she's like such a good example of what to do on Instagram. If you take a look at how her profile, or her bio is, so she has her name, what she does. This is just like the kind of category as a creator account. And then see the use of emojis and her credentials. So 15K in 30 days as an affiliate, this many followers on TikTok. She's mentored by this person. And then she has like an offer with her link. So it's very clear who she is, what she does, and who she is helping. So that's when I say like optimize your Instagram bio. That's all the stuff that I would emulate, And then, so these are like the highlights from her stories. So if I were to click on this one, so this is all lifestyle related. So this is just showing like she's doing homework because she's in college. It's like the lifestyle posts that I mentioned that do well. So do you guys see how she wrote, finish filming and editing my content for the week, time for some fresh air. Did you make time to go outside today? And then she has this little poll underneath where, asking people, did you get outside today? So it's not even about affiliate marketing. It's not like saying, hey, do you want to quit your job or whatever? It's saying, did you guys go outside today? And as you can see, I'm not sure how many responses this was, but that's what I mean when I say like an interactive story, is asking your audience a question or soliciting some kind of interaction from them. It helps to build the community, like build your community, show your personality, get to know your audience better. And so interactive stories are like highly encouraged over just like posting a story with nothing for anybody to do but watch it as it scrolls by. You know what I mean? And the way you can make these like little covers is you can go to Canva and then just literally make a square design with whatever. You can use these categories. So like lifestyle, about me, frequently asked questions, testimonials, results, or any iteration of that you want to do. But Lauren, what she's done, which is so beautiful and very much her, is like you can tell like she has brand colors. And so for these little covers, she made these little icon looking things. And then she took those images, like saved those little icons, like the white icons with the greenish background. She saved that as an image, and then she posted that image as her story on Instagram. After you post it as your story, you can go in and highlight it, and then you can save that highlight to a group. So then she would have saved that little lifestyle icon to a group and then named that lifestyle. And so now anytime she posts a story or an interactive story, she can highlight it and then add it to that group, lifestyle. And then the same thing with about me, FAQ, testimonials, and results. Something else, a couple other things I wanted to call attention to, which is just stuff that she does so right. So you can kind of see if I hover over this, and you can see how much interaction that these are getting. But this little icon up in the upper right-hand corner of this post shows that this is a reel. This over here to the right of that shows that this is a carousel post. So it's reel, carousel, reel, carousel, reel, carousel. We don't need to like go in and look at the time frame because I already did, but she's basically posting one reel and one carousel every day. But as you can see, she has this really dialed in. So she's using brand colors, and she's just really consistent with posting one reel and one carousel every day. And I'm pretty sure that she's been on Instagram since February, and she has 35,000 followers. So there's something to be said for, number one, her strategy of posting one reel and one carousel every day, the way that she has her bio optimized and has the highlights, lifestyle, about me, FAQ, testimonials, and results, all branded and all organized. And then the actual content itself, you know. So if you want like an example of what to do, what kind of content does well on Instagram, Lauren is a fantastic example and a fantastic human. So, but I just wanted to kind of call attention to that because she does it right. And she's just such a good example. And if you want someone to like emulate or, you know, base your content strategy on their work and kind of dissect it to see what works, she's an awesome example. And what questions, if any, do you guys have, or how do you see this fitting into kind of your overall content strategy? For like, I guess I'll start. So for me, like I was saying, I think the low hanging fruit is the super easy thing is just taking your TikTok content, repurposing it, taking the watermark off, just reposting it. I wanted to share something that I have been doing. So I have an iPhone. I'm not sure what y'all use, but what I did is I created, hopefully you can see that, hashtags for Instagram. And then I have like a post. People can, you know, follow me. And this is based off of Lauren's, like the way that she structures her posts. Well, not only her, but that was kind of the basis for me investigating other people and kind of using that as a jumping off point. You know, use pattern interrupts. And by that, I mean, it's like double space, there's emojis, have your call to action in there, telling people to click a link or leave a comment or send you a DM. And then you have like 10 hashtags or so. But I have that saved as a note in my phone so that it's super easy for me to just go in and copy and paste that. I also know that if you have an iPhone, you can set up a keyboard shortcut. And so you could name something, like have a shortcut where you type in Instagram or something, or IG hashtags or something like that. You think of just whatever you want to name your shortcut. And when you type that in on your iPhone, it will actually populate a bunch of hashtags. You know what I mean? So I'm not sure if you're familiar with that functionality if you have an iPhone, but just know that that kind of thing exists. Or you could create like a note in your phone and just have like a template that you can just go in and copy and paste and not have to like recreate the wheel every single time, which I noticed for me is a huge time saver. But that said, so I guess my action items after investigating the whole Instagram thing, because I've been on Instagram maybe a week and a half at this point. So my strategy after seeing the importance of carousels and branding, like, you know, using branded fonts and colors and seeing the kind of content that gets a lot of interaction, which is like the, hey, did you know? Or if you're looking to pick a niche. So it's a little bit more informational and educational than like TikTok, but you still are kind of like piquing people's interest with the types of things that you're saying, almost like a trailer, if you will. And if they want to see the full movie, take them over to YouTube or take them over to Facebook and have them watch the full movie of whatever it is that you're promoting over there. And I think that's so genius, you know. I think that's really cool that it's not just another version of TikTok. I think that the audience is a little bit more definitely older, according to the demographic research that I was doing, but not, and by older, I mean like, I think 19 to 34 was like the big age group on Instagram. But I think people on Instagram are less about trends and dancing and, you know, being silly and more about what value will you provide me, you know?
Yeah.
And so I think that's really cool because I feel like it's a really untapped like group of people who are hungry to learn and hungry to get that information. And so they're maybe a little bit more discerning, you know? But so what I'm going to be working into my content strategy is creating carousels, one for each day of the week with branded fonts, branded colors, and using a tool, probably Buffer, which if you're not familiar, Buffer is like a scheduling tool that you can use for social media. So I'll probably use Buffer because I'm familiar with it to schedule those posts out, those carousel posts, and then just add that into my Instagram content strategy because I think that's really powerful. So that's my plan. So I don't know if you guys have been thinking about how or if you want to use Instagram, but if you have any ideas or questions or thoughts that you want to bounce off each other or ask, then please feel free.
I just started I used Snaptic app for the first time, and I have an iPhone, so it took me just a few seconds to figure out. I was like, where's the download button at?
Yeah.
You know, so I got used to that, but I don't know. I haven't been posting content is because I don't know. I can't think of things to do and to say, and it takes me forever. I'm really like shy, or it's my perfectionism or something. It's almost like, so what I have so far on my TikTok, I kind of repurposed some of those on Instagram so far. And now that I saw that Lauren's profile, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna,
right,
redo my whole Instagram because I had it forever and it's mostly just personal stuff on there, or either just open another one, and just for business. But
yeah, totally.
I mean, I don't have a lot of followers on any application because I'm just that,
Yeah, well, and I think there's something to be said for just like the power of posting consistently. Like if you're one reel and one carousel post every day, I feel like that's nothing, especially given that you could just do it at the beginning of the week or on a weekend or whenever. And the reels you can just repurpose from TikTok, but the carousel posts, just get that done on one day and then you're set for the rest of the week or even for a month or however, and I'm guessing, knowing Lauren, because I know that she's not in college anymore because I think she just finished her last year or her last semester, but I'm guessing during like when she was actually finishing school that she probably paid someone on Fiverr or something like that to do that stuff for her. But I mean, depending on if it's cheap enough, I mean, I would literally outsource that without a second thought and not have to worry about the colors and the formatting and the this and that, and then just be like, send me the finished like photo, like image files, and then I will deal with posting them myself. But yeah, something I was just going to mention about like the TikTok content, because you mentioned like you don't know what to talk about or you don't like getting on camera or whatever. You can always start with like duets if you like see something and you're like, oh, that's the perfect way of describing it or whatever.
Yeah.
Do a duet and you don't have to say anything. You can just let them do the talking. And that can kind of ease you into the comfort of being on camera. And then when you do have something that you feel like, oh yeah, I could share that, or I want to talk about that, then you could even not even say anything, and you could just have text on the screen and just keep it short, like 10, 15 seconds.
Yeah. Okay.
Colleen, I see the wheels turning in your head.
Yeah. When I started this whole affiliate marketing, I had started a business Facebook page. I started a business Instagram because my personal is the only place where I put pictures of my kids. I don't put pictures of my kids anywhere else. So I didn't want to mix that.
Right.
And then, so I do have YouTube, I do have Instagram, I do have Facebook, started a Facebook group, starting to drive people to that. So I have been, other than putting my TikTok videos on Instagram, I don't really know the power of Instagram, which is why I was excited for this boot camp too. So just learning, that seems to be a better place to like be more professional than, so to speak, TikTok. Like you said, TikTok is more for entertainment. So, but if you can drive them over to Instagram, they can see a little bit more. Facebook, YouTube, you know. So I am going to spend some more time trying to figure out how to certainly polish my Instagram. I discovered Canva when I finished my ebook, hated it and screamed and tantrumed and swore and reached out to my support group, and I kept on it. And by the end of the night, I fell in love with Canva. So
that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Isn't that always how it goes? Like, no, I don't want to do this. I hate it. It's stupid. And
yes. Anything more than 2 steps, I just automatically repel anyways, because I've just never enjoyed learning technology. So I think being born before technology was technology is a huge
before
a
it was
huge
kind of like
handicap for me.
Where it was like just like household name type of thing. Something that I just thought of that I wanted to share. So there's an app that I use, and if I were going to make my own like carousel posts, like if I decided I did not want to outsource it and use Fiverr, for example, but I probably will. But there's an app, it used to be called Over, but now it is called GoDaddy Studio. And it's basically just a super easy to use like graphic design app for iPhone. I'm not sure if it's available for Android, and it has all of the templates, like different template sizes built in. So if you were going to create an Instagram square post, an Instagram story post, a portrait, a landscape, like all the different Facebook stories, covers, ads, event covers, like kind of every platform that you can think of, including Pinterest, Twitter, YouTube, Snapchat, Etsy, like everything under the sun. But it's super easy to use. So in case you were looking for like a DIY thing that's not Canva, although it sounds like you and Canva are in a better place now, it's called GoDaddy Studio, and I really like it. So
downloading it now. Awesome.
There's probably an Android version.
Oh, I'm sure.
I wish all of this could be done on the computer versus the phone. That's been a hard thing for me too.
Yeah, totally. And I think, well, and just kind of as an aside, something that I was hearing was Facebook and Instagram. Obviously, Facebook owns Instagram, but that they're trying to bring people away from TikTok and bring them back to Facebook and Instagram. So Instagram, in addition to prioritizing video, to try to compete with TikTok, they are also going to be like rewarding creators monetarily. So like I know there's some creators that have like a fairly big following on Instagram, like in the tens of thousands, but they're paying them to go live. So,
oh, wow.
And I don't know what the cutoff is in terms of number of followers or anything like that, but, just be aware, like Facebook and Instagram are doing things to like bring creators back to those platforms. And thank you for joining. If you think of any questions, just let me know or post it in the Facebook group.